I love this. I love it. We did it, and I wasn't all by myself. Thank you. That's the best night ever.
That was a great trailer.
Thank you.
I still have resting watching trailer face when we came in.
Why the what? Oh. Yeah, so this is I guess the first time we screened that was kind of our big announcement to let everyone know that we had rebranded from the Women in Horror Film Festival to the new Renegade Film Festival. Yeah, I'm so excited, super excited to be partnered with Marissa on this. Nora disappeared for a second. Nice ceiling fan, by the way. So yeah, first of all, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We are live, so hopefully everybody that's tuning in will pop in and say hello. We should see some comments at the bottom. But thank you both so much for joining us to talk about all things Pride, horror, and filmmaking tonight. So we have Nora Hewitt, who is a special makeup effects artist, and Jenna Cannell, who, I mean, you literally do it all. You act, you write, you direct. What don't you do?
Grip and electric.
Note to self.
It would be a safety hazard.
Same. I don't like to touch electrical equipment ever. Awesome. So yeah, I'm so glad you guys both took some time to join us, and I just thought we could kind of keep it casual, have some fun, and chit chat, and see what you guys have been up to. It's been a weird. I mean, I know everybody says it, and it's become like such a cliche, but my goodness, 2020 was just a dumpster fire. But yeah, we are coming out of it. Right?
Gee willikers.
You were right. Golly gee.
You weren't kidding about that mouth, Nora, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. We're off to a rough start with this language.
By golly, I'm just getting started.
She needs to chill.
Put your kids to bed, everybody.
She's
Chucky darns.
easing us into it. I love it. However, I do feel like we're coming out of it, and there were some good things. Actually, Nora, probably the most amazing part of your 2020, you got married. Congratulations.
And it was the best part of 2020.
Yeah.
Something good came out of it. We made it.
This is my wife.
Very nice.
Rachel,
Very
hi.
nice.
Hi, Rachel.
Hello. And you also are a special makeup effects artist, yes?
Yes, and gay.
Yeah,
And gay. As you can tell.
She's my ace in the hole on projects. She's like my go-to. Anytime I get a project that I get department head, Rachel is suffering through the build. She's holding everything. I drag her on set with me. I make her do makeups. I make her do everything. And she's a trooper for putting up with me. So
I think that's amazing, because I was just going to ask how that works, if you guys are able to work together.
We make it work, but I wouldn't say it's always like, peachy keen.
It's not for everybody.
No, she's very graceful dealing with me in all of my stressful stages of production. And when I'm freaking out and I got to fix bloodlines and get tanks charged and there's still makeup to be done, I can rely on her to get it done to the quality that I want it to get done to, and I don't have to worry about it. And that's very nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
That I can. She knows my standards, so it's I can rely on her to help me out when I got a million other things I need to be worrying about as department head, and she'll get colored matched perfectly and get edges laid down beautifully and.
So that was very nice.
Yeah, well, that's awesome.
That is really sweet. Yeah.
That's pretty cute.
Yep. Man, I've never spoken about my partner that kindly, so I am tip the hat. I'm always like, yeah.
I'm over here
Yeah, they're all right.
This is my cat. My cat is also here. So she's asleep. You can't see her, but the cat's here.
Equally as good of a partner, honestly.
For sure.
Does carry a lot of my emotional burden, for sure.
Seriously.
Yeah. I mean,
we've got multiple fur babies, so I feel that they get all
nice.
They're the emotional support babies for sure. All day.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
My black lab is not handling us all leaving the house again well. She's actually like spiraled into a weird anxiety, depression thing. It's not pretty. But yeah, she probably needs therapy too. So but she'll be all right.
Yeah, Rachel went so far as to get a job working from home so that she can be home with the dog all day, so that he doesn't lose his face.
Which I think made it worse for both of us.
Yeah.
I've decided the one relationship I can be codependent in is with my dog. I think I'm okay with that.
100%.
Yes.
Yep.
Better them than the kids, less therapy bills, all that stuff.
For sure.
Amen to therapy.
Yeah, I saw Carrie Yates just said hello from the UK.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hi,
Carrie.
And Waylon.
Yep.
And Waylon, yes.
Ah,
yes, happy Pride.
Woo.
What's up, Quiz? Happy Pride!
That's right. Love it. So Jenna, what I'd say what great thing came out of 2020 for you? Anything? Because I like to try to pull the good from all of that.
What great thing. I think there were a number of silver linings. I definitely feel like I know a lot more about the world than I did.
Nice.
And a lot more about myself.
Yeah, I kind of think that's true. I feel like I had no choice.
I'm sorry.
He has no pants on. That kid never has pants on.
That was perfect.
I mean, I guarantee
relate heavily.
every single time we go live, he comes in with no pants.
I was going to tell Ari not to do that. My niece doesn't like to wear pants either.
Yeah, we have a 13-year-old here who refuses to wear pants, so we understand.
I'm not going to judge. I mean, wear pants, don't wear pants. It's fine.
I'm not going to
agree.
confirm or deny whether I'm wearing pants.
Fair.
That is yours to keep.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on below the canopy.
I can't tell you.
Sorry, that was distracting. I apologize.
I can't tell you how many times Vanessa has been like, "Are you wearing pants?" And I'm like, "Dude, yes, I am. I told you." And I always
What an invasive question.
And then you go,
yeah, and then I'm like, well, it's every once in a while. I'm like, well, no, but and so finally I realized she's not talking.
Creepy while at the same time making my guests feel comfortable to know that we can. Are you wearing pants? I'm like, ooh, I'm the creepy old lady is what I am. It's official.
Someone's gotta be.
you should
It's
want
official.
to be that.
Tomorrow I'm officially old. I turned 45 and
Woo, congrats.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, but you're not there yet. You are 45
Thanks.
years young.
Yeah.
that's right. But
Creepy
old
old
enough
thing.
to be like,
Oh my God,
no.
Congratulations on switching to Centrum Silver. I hear it's a great time to be.
Yes.
I'm joking.
You want to hear like kind of a funny old joke? So I bought one of those pill vitamin organizers of the days of the week.
Nice.
But I keep forgetting
I get
to
you.
go to them. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know what day it is. I don't know which pills I'm supposed to take.
Oh man, it came
One
so
of my
quick.
medications is only old people. They send me a pamphlet and it's only old people. They won't even try to put a young person on it.
No, it's a geriatric medication that she's on.
I mean, this is where I need the
Rub it in.
millennial to help me. Be like, can you please?
This is right. One of those good
I'm
moments.
a geriatric millennial, though. I'm on the
It's true.
other end of the millennial.
Yes,
Ew.
you're the get off my lawn.
I'm the Clint Eastwood with the shotgun. Get off my lawn.
Yes.
I can attest to that.
I'm Gran Torino. Fucking Clint Eastwood.
That is by far the scariest Clint to
Dude,
be.
when we started dating, she would pay her phone bill in store still.
I would go to.
I broke her
kiosk
of that.
Sprint. I would.
Wow.
Wow.
That's how real that is.
Like I could
So
go
you-
to the Sprint store and I could pay either to the
Yeah.
gentleman at
Like,
the
why are we
Sprint-
stopping here?
Right.
Yeah.
Are you
At that
walking
point, just-
around
Yeah.
with a
you might as well
checkbook
use a
and-
carrier pigeon.
I do have a checkbook. I usually keep it in the car just in case. Don't break
just
into
in
my
case
car.
of a
I was gonna say I don't think
For
that's
your
where
checkbook.
It's not. It's somewhere else.
I think you might want to hide
That was
that puppy.
a decoy.
Oh,
They wouldn't even know how to write a check. They don't teach you how to write a check anymore in school. Fine. They wouldn't even know what to do with it. They're like, what is this?
How do I sign my name?
Coupon book.
it's true. I don't think they're showing kids how to
I
write
don't think
checks
so. They're not
anymore.
teaching them how to write in cursive. I don't think they're teaching them how to.
I mean, they didn't teach me, so they certainly aren't teaching them.
Well, there's 5 years.
Right. Yeah, I definitely never learned how to fill out a check.
No, they didn't teach me anything useful.
I do still know the preamble to the Constitution, so thank goodness that's still in there,
Oh,
taking up
good.
valuable real estate.
Would
Thank
you like to
goodness.
recite that now?
Well,
No one wants me to
whole thing
recite
needs
that
a
right now.
redo.
Yeah.
No one wants it.
For
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. It's extra useless.
Constitution could use an update.
Yeah,
Guys,
or-
I'm
or
a
12.
I'm a high school teacher and counselor, so I'm here to say that we've got bigger fish to fry. I had a student this year tell me that
Awful.
sugar comes from cows. So
Oh,
we've
no.
got
Where do you
bigger
live?
problems with our youth. Yeah, New Jersey. Number
Oh,
2 in
God.
the world.
Oh, my cousin's a teacher in New Jersey right now as well.
Oh, no way. Yeah, it's
Hampshire.
I wanna
Maybe it's
know
New Hampshire.
They're full
where-
of shit. It's New Hampshire.
Maybe it's
New
And my
Jersey,
mother-
New Hampshire.
Yeah, my
New.
mother teaches in Connecticut, so it's all the East Coast.
Nice. Okay, yeah, we get clumped together. In fact, they might be
got it.
classier than Jersey, so I'll take it.
Where can I get one of these sugar cows?
Oh, I asked too,
Yes.
and I thought
Are these the cows that
Chocolate
produce
milk?
chocolate milk? Is that what?
Vanilla. I'll take any
Strawberry.
kind of sugared. It comes out ice cream if they're cold.
Right.
Comes out of
that would be
Yeah,
amazing.
Speaking of
Well,
updates, ladies,
the teats.
Oh,
Right.
It turns itself.
there we go.
I mean, I'm not a farmer, but
uh,
I've milked
I'm
a
gonna-
cow.
I'm gonna steer the conversation in a slight horror direction because I know
Please,
part of what we're
please.
talking about.
Bring it back.
So, speaking of updates, I'm sure everyone's seen who is, an old person that's on Facebook, that Rob Zombie has gotten the rights to make the new Monsters movie.
Mhm.
Hot takes.
Yes.
How do we feel about this? How's everyone feeling emotionally about this? I personally am a Rob Zombie fan.
But-
I enjoy Rob Zombie projects. I have to be so choice with what I say.
The last
there.
one was just a little bit of a miss for him,
It's
but
just
as a
that-
whole, he's a win.
I think the last one was trying to, fan service a little bit, and it certainly didn't quite hold up to, House of a Thousand Corpses. And then when you look at Devil's Rejects, it's like a serious drama. I mean, it's an amazing film. But how do we feel about him taking the monsters under his wing? And what role will Sherry Moon play? Is the question. that I want.
Something for sure. If she's not in it,
'Cause
it's
she
not
will
a
be
Rob
in it.
Zombie film.
She's got to be in it, and I'm okay with that because I love Sherry
Thank
Moon.
God.
Like, the day is long, but, how do we feel?
I also like Rob Zombie. I actually think he's got a great style and aesthetic to a point
I
where,
dig it. I'm down with it.
well, it's everything that I love about that era of cinema that he's been able to completely capture today and make it look and feel as if it was in the 70s. And
Yeah, he's got that true Americana grindhouse thing down
Yes.
to his hat. He loves it. He really is. forward
and
with
he's
it. I
good
appreciate
at that.
Yeah.
But I will say this, and I'm sure people will get on me, and God forbid it ever gets back to him or anything. I wouldn't want to screw anything up.
This is an open forum.
I think he would benefit from maybe working with a screenwriter and really just focusing on directing. Some of the scripts I could be just judging it too much based on 3 from Hell, where I felt like there were a lot of moments where I was like,
The plot was rough
But
on
I
that.
think,
It was
a lot of
What's
people will
happening?
agree with you.
yeah, a lot of things going on. But that's why I think the first 2 were so much more specific and niche, which is why
Mhm.
it felt so off for the new one, honestly.
because I'd say aesthetically and stylist, I love what he does. I really do.
I do
And
too. I fucking
I-
love it. I want to
I'm
live
not-
in there. It's like a Quentin Tarantino world. Like, where can I move in next to the Fireflies? Where are my weird neighbors? Like,
right, with no shoes on, because we're gonna have to go.
we'd be perfect
Feet.
neighbors. We would have 0 issues.
Totally.
Um,
As far as the monsters, I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna judge it. I kind of want to see what he does.
Do you think it's gonna have like the same kind of feel that the Dark Shadows Tim Burton remake had. Because I wasn't really mad about that shit. Like, I enjoyed that movie. It had a lot of people I enjoyed it. Like, Michelle Pfeiffer all day. Like, sign me the fuck up. I'll watch that anytime. Because Hachimachi, I love Michelle Pfeiffer. And then also, like,
She was great in
a
it.
lot of other people are great in it too. But I don't know. I'm very curious to see what we're going to get. And then also, furthermore, what are we going to get out of this live action Addams Family that's coming to Netflix, right? That's going to be Tim Burton related,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. Well, it's funny.
I have all positive
I'm looking
hopes
forward to
at
all
least.
this.
Waylon just said that he doesn't feel Rob Zombie is the guy to do the monsters because he doesn't have the whimsy for it. And I would agree to an extent where I don't think he doesn't have it. I haven't seen it. Like, I haven't seen him go to that kind of more lighthearted, whimsical.
Whimsical. He's whimsical. He was really whimsical in a dark way.
Captain Spaulding's kind of whimsical,
Right, like,
Well,
in
I was just going to say that.
Horses,
His
but then it's
whimsy
like,
is very
but not in
dark.
the same way. Yeah, not in the same way.
Jenna.
Not in the Tim Burton way.
What's
Yeah.
up, Marissa?
Jen. You're being
What's
way
up?
too quiet down there.
Yeah.
What are you thinking but not saying?
Come on, chime in.
I don't have a strong opinion about this.
Oh,
so
wow,
I have a strong opinion about just about everything. So I was
Yeah.
letting
Okay.
letting
Just
those
letting it
with a
ride.
strong opinion
All right.
All right.
take it
All right.
away.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited either way for what happens, and I think, I think we know what we get if Tim Burton was doing it, and I don't mean that in a
Right.
weird, bad, or slighted way. We just know what we would get if Tim Burton did it, which is like, and we all love a Tim Burton who doesn't do that shit. But,
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited to see where Rob takes it, and if he takes them down a weird dark alley, I'm certainly fine with that too.
I'm always fine with darker.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
be. I'm more just curious. I think because it is kind of an unknown. It doesn't seem like it would be an obvious match. So I'm kind of like, well, what? I don't know. What are you gonna do? Let's see.
Like, I know he's personally a big fan, so I think he'll do it justice.
Yeah.
So when I leave a Rob Zombie movie, and this isn't necessarily a critique, more just a like observation. I feel like I need to take a shower, right?
I was just gonna
In-
say
in
that.
a-
Yeah,
That's
in a
the
good way.
point.
In a good way,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in a way that I'm here for, like a 70s grindhouse way. And when I watched the Munsters, in some strange way, I also felt like I needed to take a shower, but in a totally different kind of way. So I feel like it's gonna work. I really do. I don't know why,
Well,
but I'm feeling good about it.
It's interesting that you
I'm
bring that up.
excited about it.
Because I think
Me
there
too.
is something kind of visceral about it. Because I know, like, when I watch his films, I feel like I can smell everything that's happening. And I feel like there's a layer of, like, grit and grease on everyone that I feel like gets on me. So, I mean, there's
Same.
definitely, he's been able to achieve that, to be able to give the audience kind of a more visceral experience by creating that world and that aesthetic so well. And again, my only critique is just I would
Sherry
I'm
Moon,
not-
Sherry Moon for Grandpa. Me too.
I'm with it.
kidding.
Oh,
All right.
that would be. I mean, I'm sure he's going to have his ragtag bunch because I love. I think that it's cool that he works with all of his,
Like Adam
Friends.
Sandler.
I know. I
That's his
kind of
thing.
want.
Yeah.
I want Bill to be involved. Like, I'm curious if Bill's going to be involved in any way.
Yeah, same.
He's
Maybe he-
quintessential. Very well could be.
grandpa. For sure.
So
Yeah.
speaking of
Got
the
that
world
beer
blowing,
for
See,
it.
I could
yeah. So speaking of the world blowing open again, what is the horror you are most excited for in the upcoming year? everyone?
Candyman,
Oh, for sure, right? Easy answer.
hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that.
What was
too.
that? I missed it.
What's the
Candyman.
horror movie? Yeah, you're most excited for.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know who you were.
Yeah. Just kidding.
Yeah, I would agree with Candyman.
Okay.
I want to see what she does.
I feel like there's a lot of-
Well, yeah, Candyman. We've been waiting.
Yeah,
for
I was gonna say there's a lot of things that got postponed that were supposed to happen in 2020.
Yeah,
that I'm
that's-
excited
yeah.
for.
Candyman
the new
for
one.
sure. I'm very excited for, and especially because I think Kozar did a bunch of stuff on that. I think Andy Kozar people worked on that, Anna and all those face off
So-
guys. I'm pretty sure got a piece of the pie, which is fucking awesome. I think we're gonna go in true old man fashion, gonna go see a Sunday matinee of the Conjuring 3 movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm pretty pumped about that. I fucking love a Conjuring movie. I could watch those movies all day. I fucking love, what the hell's her name? Vera.
Vera Farmiga.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
I've worked with
shit.
her. She's
Yes.
wonderful.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, she's,
That's
Yeah,
good
she's
to
a
hear. I
mess.
love hearing that.
seems like
How
a
did-
very lovely person and also lovely to look at. So I'm looking forward to that movie. I think she's great as Elaine Warren. I think she's
I
just
would
like,
agree. She's mesmerizing.
perfect choice for that
Oh yeah.
role. Like, she's so good at it. Like, she's just so damn
So-
good at it, and he's great as Ed.
Jenna, what did you worked with her? What project was this?
Yeah.
It was called the Front Runner. It was
Okay.
a political Hugh Jackman political drama that came out a
I
couple
remember
years
that,
ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. She played his
That's
wife.
So you've done all kinds of cool stuff, and I got to say, I'm assuming most recently, because this was like all the rage recently, is WandaVision,
Oh,
right? I mean, I know not horror, but we got to talk about it.
Oh my
'cause-
gosh, can we?
this ticker
Horrible.
is aggressive. I love this. Why is it making it look like?
So
I'm
I'm
now on
assuming that
Instagram.
you're
Aggressive
Atlanta-based
bunch.
also then, right?
Yeah. I work out of
Cool. 'cause,
yeah. I travel some for work, but I'm in Atlanta for the most part.
So what was that experience
Fuck
like?
yeah,
Tell us a
that's
little about
awesome,
it.
dude. Right on.
On WandaVision,
Mhm.
it was great. I mean, it's funny because we shot it
Please.
over a year ago before it came out,
Yeah.
and then the pandemic pushed it back because I think they had more episodes to shoot. And as you guys all know, everything shut down. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool. I mean, that set was amazing. It was an actual, seemingly military base, and I love Kat Dennings, and she laughed at my dad joke, so I peaked when I died,
Yes.
and now I'm a
Yeah,
ghost.
that's a good point.
That's
Who's it?
awesome. Yeah.
Kathy Hahn.
Oh.
Kathy Hahn's in that, right?
Oh my
yeah, I
god.
didn't
Yeah.
get to meet her though.
She would have been my I would have been
She's
like,
fucking
so
hilarious.
like I fucking love her, dude. She is like top 5.
Hilarious.
She's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I love the fucking
Yeah,
lady.
she's
and
awesome.
That bitch is funny.
Yeah.
Steven.
Oh, that's so cool. What a fun experience. I love like I do a lot of indie work, but I love
I think her
Yeah. We might be gone now.
speaker, or who's got, or did Rachel walk away and did she have the speaker?
Oh, I don't know.
Kathy, you're so
Oh,
cute.
did I do something?
The
I don't know.
Bluetooth has to stay together. I mean, I know. I'm not the technology person. You should
I don't know how this works. I just listen to
Oh, there you go.
podcasts on these
Oh,
things at
there
work.
you are.
Is
Yeah,
that better? Now it's making sense.
now we
Wow.
can hear you.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So I did write down a couple of talking points that I thought we could like jump into. It is Pride Month. So one of the things I've noticed, and not just this month, but like just all over social media, I see a lot of the hashtag, make horror gay as fuck. I want to know from you guys, like, what does that mean to you? And what does visibility and inclusion in horror look like moving forward?
I think it starts behind the camera, in terms of the moving forward part, getting more folks of inclusive voices behind the camera, which will then inherently affect what happens in front of it
Yeah.
and the kinds of stories that are told.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
more of a gay lens on things, more gay writers, directors, crew members, you name it. I couldn't agree more with what you said about it starting behind the scenes and then moving through that, and speaking through the work. And I think we've already had so many iconic gay writers that have worked in the horror genre that people might not even realize are gay writers, or like, oh, I know that movie was written by a gay man, whatever. But yeah, representation fucking matters. And,
Yeah, it really does.
so it'd be nice to see, horror get blacker and queer and, just more, just less white, I guess, is the truth of it, just less mainstream, less male-centric, down with females. Females are stupid. They get, there's just so many tropes that are so tried and true in the horror genre that, could use a serious rewrite. Because let's be honest, in a real-life situation, I think more men would die before women would, we live this shit every day.
We,
Well,
you know,
in real life, the slut doesn't die first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What Josh say here? Yes.
Oh, sorry. I'll
No,
bring it back.
I see.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, I got to give Joshua a huge shout out. Fright School is one of my absolute most favorite queer podcasts out there. They do horror film critique. It's such a cool idea too, because his partner Joe literally is a horror, I guess like newbie for lack of a better term, and they watch them together and they really kind of dive into queer theory. They've taught me so much and I adore them.
I love that.
So, Fright
And
School.
he has also joined the fest as a film judge. So
Yeah. So shout
thrilled
out
to have him on board. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
Well, I've got a new podcast I got to try now.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Fright School. It's
Okay.
amazing. And they are, like I said, they're just so insightful. I think just if I can add to the conversation a little bit, he's saying thank you to everybody. I think we need to just normalize all kinds of relationships on screen. That's one thing that, like, especially in horror films, I just want it to be, just something that casually happens. I recently watched a horror film where a character's sexuality was just not a big thing, and I'm like, man, that's refreshing. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
exactly. And it wasn't
Yeah,
forced.
just
it shouldn't be.
Shit's Creek everything.
Right.
If
That
it needs
was-
to be talked
exactly.
about, just let it be.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I feel like there's been gay people in horror for a long time, but it has been like you said, the tropes. It hasn't been positive. We need
Stereotypes,
realistic
yeah.
representation where you
Yeah.
don't talk about it. It's the same thing as the two straight people that are fucking get killed in the first scene of every movie.
Well, and notoriously, the gay person is always the villain. It's, Angela in Sleepaway Camp is the trans character.
Ooh, that was rough.
It's Buffalo fucking Bill in Silence of the Lambs. It's like, it's always demonized. And they do that, it's been...
Or even like the Freddy, the gayest Freddy ever ruined his career.
Mark Patton is
Well,
a saint, and I
It shouldn't have. It's amazing.
and that's another thing, is I respect Mark so much for what he did with Scream Queens and making that documentary, because it's important to stand up for other people, but it's harder to stand up for yourself. And he stood up for himself by making that documentary, but also, stood up for everyone else that's been, in that situation.
You're talking about the one on Shudder, right?
Yeah.
Scream Queens, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you're right. It's like it's either been demonized or it's a caricature. And it's you take every stereotype and put it into this one character who, by all means, is going to be killed in the first, part of it. They're not going to survive. And I agree. I think it's important to start normalizing these relationships to where we're not watching it and it's like, oh my God. Like, if it's two men, you're like, oh my God, two guys kissed. And honestly, I'm sick and tired of, two women. Oh, now it's hot. I'm interested.
Yeah, that's a real issue.
Right?
Yeah. Even just working in like the effects world, that's something I dealt with, was like, oh, I'm not okay with gay men, but because you're lesbian, that's all right. I'm fine with that. So that's a real thing.
We have an audience question, if that's okay.
Yeah. Being involved in the industry, do you see things improving behind the scenes?
In some ways.
Yeah.
I think it's a
Depends on
slow...
Progress is slow, but happening.
Yeah. I would agree, and I think it's important to do things like this. It's important to have these conversations. It's important to have people like all of you and us, like, trying to get in and make changes. I know that's an important thing for Marissa and I with this fest, is to, set an example of what this industry should be and look like.
Absolutely. And one of the things, and I'm hoping you guys can kind of at least relate to this, is it becomes draining to be the token in the crowd, man. Like, I feel like sometimes it's so hard because people just turn to be it, whether
or
it's
the unwanted, the token or the unwanted, either way.
True. Either way. Yeah. And sometimes I feel like the line there, you can't even tell which angle you're sitting at. But yeah, I sometimes feel like it's a burden to kind of be that person, in all kinds of ways. And so I'm curious to see what you guys think about that. Do you feel like, it's something that you have to represent, all of, the LGBTQ community or women or, like in my case, Latinx people? Like, it gets draining at times for me. And I'm wondering if you guys have ever had that experience.
Well, what sucks is that I don't think you get to like decide even.
Right.
I don't think we get to decide whether you're representing an entire demographic. You just suddenly
shit.
are.
Yeah.
Whatever that demographic is, you don't have a choice. I think
Which
that's
is a
true
huge
about any
issue,
marginalized
'cause
group. Yeah.
No
It's-
one should be
yeah,
speaking outside of their own experience, even though we're all lumped together, and that's where misinformation happens. I mean, I even
Agreed.
remember, like, I worked with all men, and they started asking me questions that were
Inappropriate.
very inappropriate, and I saw it as like a mixed time where it was like, this is like a learning moment because they're actually listening, and what the fuck are you thinking? You know, like, why would you think that's okay to ask me? But at the same time, yeah, we've been asked at like public events, what do you think about queer in general? And we're like, we can't.
Can't speak on behalf of the entire
it's-
community. I
yeah.
can speak on my experience as a queer woman, in the industry. It can be polarizing at times, but I think that's true of anybody can feel polarized for any specific
But learning is weird too.
Well, and teachable moments are great, but also it's like this is my responsibility. Yes and no. I think self-education is important. I think educating through peers and people that aren't like learning from people with differences is really important. It is part of our responsibility. We want people to get things that they don't understand or they don't have in their like. We're living in Texas right now, and I know
In Atlanta, you guys probably have similar things. I know you got some blue in the last election. Congratulations. But like we moved from California and we're currently in Texas, and it's
It's
a thing.
switch.
Where in
That's a
Texas
big-
are you guys?
We're in Waco, Texas right now,
Okay.
and
I'm doing
and
a
it's
film out
cool.
in Texas in September, so I was going to come crash if you were anywhere near
Cool.
where
Are you
where?
are you shooting
What's
down in
up?
Austin or
No,
Where-
Fort Worth. So I don't know if that's
nice?
anywhere
Oh,
near.
so you're up in the Dallas area. That's cool. That's
Texas
cool, 'cause,
is huge.
Texas
Oh
is
my-
big.
It's a whole
so
day
big.
drive just to the
Yeah.
state.
open.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut
Yeah,
you off.
no, it's fine. It's been a real
Jenna needs a
interesting
place to
experience
stay.
for us.
Is really what we're getting at.
Help me! This is a cry for help.
Dallas is cool. Go to Deep Ellum. Deep Ellum is cool for like only get drinks, and that's like a fun like bar area to hang out in. But Dallas Fort Worth is I've only been there once or twice. But yeah, Texas has been an interesting experience. For
Austin,
us.
I liked a lot. I only got to see it once, but it had this
Oh, I
like
love Austin.
almost like
Yeah, Austin's
I
cool.
love the whole keep it weird thing, but it has almost a New Orleans vibe in the architecture. Everything's like these big, beautiful, overhanging porches with like awesome gold. I mean, like that bronze what we were looking at
Yeah.
today. Whatever.
Yeah.
I've still not been to Austin. I've been busy. I've been doing a bunch of film work. I got out here, which has been awesome. The film scene out here has been wonderful. Everyone that I've experienced in the Texas film scene has been fantastic so far. I've had nothing but
Awesome.
positive things about film scene.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Kick-ass-
Yeah.
Kick-ass fucking people.
Yeah.
And I've been getting to shoot all horror stuff since I got here, which has been awesome.
Nice.
Nothing but fun horror movies.
Yes, and I get to have you at the end of
Great.
July, so I'm super excited
I
about that.
know. I'm
We're
excited
gonna
to
do
shift
some-
gears and be working on the build for your shoot, Vanessa. I'm so excited.
I know
Um,
it's going to be a
that's
lot of fun.
Can't wait to see. Yeah, I can't wait to see Atlanta. I can't wait to work with you again. And I'm just so excited to.
I know it's been a hot
come to play
minute.
with you.
Everyone was like, "Oh, when?" I was like, "I'm at Norley. It's been 2 years now. This summer is when we were."
I know.
out
It
in
feels like
Mexico.
just yesterday I was showing you.
Does not feel that long ago.
I
Yeah.
show you while we were there. My brain.
What we did
Oh.
in
You
the
texted
shadows.
me. You guys were
Yeah, we
watching.
watched what we do in the shadows.
I just told Marissa
That is so good.
today. Yeah,
love what we do in the
I told her
shadows.
the whole story. and
Yeah,
then
she's
I
like,
was
I never seen the movie. She's like talking about the show, and I was like, have you seen the movie? She's like, no, and I'm like, I have a copy with me, and we watched it. And it was so fun watching Vanessa watch that for the first time.
So good.
I can only imagine what my faces were doing then. I probably had
Oh,
no
it was
eyes,
great.
drooling. It was ridiculous. So I have another question that kind of follows up a little bit, because obviously we are faced with a lot of challenges, kind of going back to what Marissa said about like that pressure of having to be the token, whatever it is, on top of the fact that filmmaking itself is extremely difficult and extremely challenging. I mean, obviously, yeah, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But with all of those challenges, you know, and the fact that all of you are really dedicated, you know, to your craft, do you think that it's harder to get started or to keep going? And why?
I think anything is harder to start than to continue. You know,
Yeah.
I don't remember really anything about physics other than that an object in motion will stay in motion unless acted upon by an outside force. And I think that's kind of true about because that's true about habits too. And I think,
but what about those outside forces? What about those things, those obstacles and those challenges that sometimes, because I feel like, and you guys obviously can answer this, and we're not speaking for all people in this industry, but like, there are times I think when we all have those moments of like, oh my God, is it worth it? Should I keep pushing for this? You know, and then what do you do to keep that object in motion?
Yeah, no, I mean that's also true. Sometimes it's hard to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean sometimes, you know, there's
of it.
Yeah, and there's outside things like, you know, this whole last year, like COVID, you know, where it just puts a hard stop on everything. And that was a big thing for us. You know, we were out in LA and we had been working steadily for, you know, the past, you know, 5-6 years without issue. And we were just going about and not really, you know, thinking about what it would be like to not have the ability to work in that industry and that option. And then when COVID happened, it was really eye-opening. You know, it was like, oh shit, like this, you know, our job can go away like that, you know. So it was, that was a big one for us, and that prompted our move a little bit, also as well, out of LA. Not with the intention of not working in film anymore, but just with the intention of, you know, trying to find a landscape that would be a little bit easier to survive when
you're on your toes all the time. Yeah. Or even just the next, you know, there's always a lull in film. I mean, that's the thing. You can be successful as you want, but two months will go by without work, and that just is what it is. Everyone is feeling that at the same time, you know. But I also think, like, I kind of even struggle with thinking about, like, being one of the few people at the shop having left, now that I'm, like, who's representing the women there? I almost feel like, you know, it's a mixed bag. You want to stay because you have to, because someone's got to do it, you know? Like, or else it just doesn't happen. And you got to be uncomfortable and do it, I guess. That's kind of the thing that keeps pushing you, in a way.
Yeah, for me, it's just, I can't imagine doing anything else, and I'll do other things to subsidize income, but at the end of the day, like, being involved in the filmmaking process is what I'm passionate about. It's what brings me, you know, purpose as far as my, you know, career-oriented life goes. I just fucking love it. I'm addicted to it. There's a high that you get being on set and being part of the actual, you know, when the shit goes down, you know, because we've been involved in pre-production for years, working, especially in special effects. You build all this cool shit that you send off set, and someone else gets to play with and make the magic happen.
Yeah, you spend months on shit.
Right, and for me, you know, that's the most addictive part. Is like I get no bigger high in life than being on set and being directly there when the shit hits the fan and the bloodline bursts, and you gotta fucking think of something real quick, and there's fucking Kara syrup flying in your face, and you gotta figure out how to, you know, it's just like when the shit hits the fan, that's like the adrenaline that I am there for. Like I just enjoy being in the trenches, and that's why I enjoy filmmaking.
Well, and I think I think we can all, you know, speak to that on some level, because you're absolutely right. I think there is a high that happens, you know, when you've got that much creative energy and everyone is there working for the same goal to bring something to life that did not exist until that moment, you know. That's absolutely magic, and there is something very palpable about that. And I think, you know, wherever it is that you're focusing your energy, you know, whatever your craft is, whether it be effects or acting or directing or writing or set design or music composition, you know, there's something really, really special about that. And especially because it's a collaborative process. I mean, you know, you're really feeding off of everybody, and there really is nothing else like it.
To their, you know, it's an amazing and privileged thing to be able to be a part of, because so few people get to say that they were involved in things like this and get to be in the film industry. So it is such
Yeah.
a privilege and such an amazing thing that we get to even do this kind of shit, and we get to put our you know, our fingerprint on these things that are gonna long outlast us. You know, WandaVision is going to be around for generations of people to enjoy. You know, all these stupid little indie films, you never know what's going to catch fire and be the next Evil Dead. So that's the hope, right? That's the, you know, that you're working on that next, you know, lightning in a bottle situation. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
You know, so it's exciting. It's high stakes, it's high pressure, and it's fucking magic.
But high reward too with all of that, you know?
Yeah,
And
oh god, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the drug analogy is a good one.
Yeah. You know,
it's always got to be high risk for high reward.
Yeah. And finding those people that you really connect with, that you can create with, you know, I mean, we kind of always say, like, you find your tribe, and then it's like, oh, I've been searching this whole time for these people, and we're just going to go make the most amazing thing happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's whatever. I can go crazy on that for a while.
So speaking of tribe, Vanessa, if I may be so bold, I'd like to just kind of shout out our special merch store that we have running up for Pride. I'm going to go ahead and throw it on the screen here. Check out all that cool gear that you can go ahead and order. We kind of designed a special Pride shirt. I'm sorry, I wish it was bigger. I'm not technically savvy enough, but we have some tank tops.
I don't know how to
cool
zoom.
shirts. Yeah, me neither. But they're cool. Check them out. And you can go over to shop. Hold on. I'm again an old lady who needs to shop lemonkeyhouse.com. Le Monkey House, L-E. They're fancy like that. Yeah, that's because that's how you know they're fancy.
Yes.
But yeah, guys, please go check out our merch, especially our Pride merch. We're super proud of it.
We're proud of our pride.
We're proud of our pride. Yeah, so
that's, our pride.
Yeah.
Yes, and so thrilled that we have Reagan from Le Monkey House, you know, helping to support. It's a local business. It's a woman-owned business.
Yeah.
Thrilled that she has partnered with us for this. Super cool.
Yeah, and their stuff is nice. Like, you know, you get a T-shirt and it's either like soft and snuggly and nice, or it's not.
Or it's like prickly. You want to die,
and it's like, oh, you
gotta wash it 20 times.
It smells like a bag of salt and vinegar chips, and you're like, what? I gotta wash this like 5 times.
There's a factory.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know.
That new T-shirt smell straight off the press is
terrible.
Yeah.
Dude, you hit it. It's salt and vinegar chips. I've been thinking for years what that smell is. Oh my gosh, you're so right.
I got you. My last boss was a little T-shirt crazy, and every week he was like, I got a new T-shirt idea, and he would just like hand out T-shirts. Like every week he'd have a new, like, crazy, ridiculous, like, inside joke T-shirt that the shop would, you know, he was just constantly
inside joke T-shirts are the best.
And I appreciated it, but they always smelled like the salt and vinegar chips.
Yeah, I could see somebody walking in and be like, "Who's eating salt and vinegar chips?" Oh, it's a shirt.
Why am I suddenly thirsty?
It's just new T-shirt Tuesday.
You know what?
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Let's see. I do have some other questions.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched anything particularly queer and horror relatedly?
Yes.
Have we?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
We all
actually,
have.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. So Marissa and I, we didn't watch it on the same day, but we've watched it recently because we just talked about it today because I watched it recently. I finally saw Freaky with Vince Vaughn.
Yep.
Loved it so much. I mean, and such a dork too, because like I'm watching it and I'm like texting Marissa and I'm like, oh my god, the scene, I'm crying but laughing, and like it was I just loved it. I think that it was a perfect mix of comedy and like some fun extreme like gags, and I think a lot of the themes that were woven in there were done beautifully,
really well. Yeah. And what a diverse cast and crew, man. The writers, the directors, everybody on that is so well-rounded and representative, I thought. I'm in love. Yeah, I'm in love with that. I also love a film that'll teach me new ways to use the "See you next Tuesday" word. Like, I feel like it evolved my insults game, so I was excited.
Yeah. What about you guys? What have you seen recently?
I've been binging.
Okay, you know what came to my
Dragula.
mind?
Oh.
Yes.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Dragula.
Yes. That's a yes.
Yes. Love Dragula.
So good.
Love it.
And we binged that shit hard.
I'm in the middle of it.
What came to mind for me was that gay movie on Shudder about New Year's.
Oh, that's
Oh my
kind of
God,
a while
yeah.
ago, but I feel like it
Is
didn't
this
get
Knife
talked
and
about
Heart?
really. So
What is it?
Knife and Heart,
Yeah,
is that the
yeah.
one?
it was a new.
I think so.
Yeah, they spend
That's
like a
crazy.
year on an Airbnb, and there's a lot of ex relationships.
Adding it to my list.
Oh my gosh, Granny.
It was like entirely gay, which I thought was unique.
I don't know that this is particularly gay, but it, you never. It's always
Let's-
subjective when
well,
there's like kids
We'll
involved.
give it a
because I feel like
percentage.
queer
How
teens
gay
can-
is it?
Well, no, I was
25%.
speaking of actually. I just watched Psycho Gorman. Have you guys seen Psycho Gorman?
No.
No,
yeah.
but I've heard a lot of the good stuff.
God,
Good stuff,
it's
yeah.
really fantastic. It's
Okay.
very good. I really enjoyed that. I don't know how queer it was, but
I was gonna
feel
say
like-
that.
I think that girl in it was a little tomboy-esque, and whenever I get a
Maybe.
tomboy girl character, it's
10%
brings
gay,
me
maybe?
back to a 10%.
It's relatable at least.
It's
Why-
relatable. She
why do you
wasn't
need
like
a number?
Like, she was.
I'm a numbers person. I'm not.
Yeah,
at all.
here, stop me when we're there.
Look, Marissa's laughing. She knows it.
Okay.
Like a venti sort of.
I barely know all the letters.
But no, like
Try.
I think, like especially when you get outside of the construct of your typical archetype for a girl character in a film, and especially like a young girl character, she wasn't like feminine. She was very authoritative. She was very she was running the show, the gambit on the guys in the movie. She was not taking shit. Like it was just like an empowered little lady who was not feminine specifically. She was very androgynous in her
Her personality, naturally.
How she expressed herself. She was very dominant. She was not like a girly girl. Like she was just
for like a young girl who doesn't know yet, you would identify with that if you're a gay chick. So I could see how it could be like,
For me, it was like, oh, like fuck yeah, like this little girl's like running this shit. She's,
yeah.
like,
How old is she? Like
Like
7?
11. No,
Okay.
7, 11. But either way, it was a very cool, like empowered, boss girl movie that I really enjoyed. So you should check out Psycho Gorman if you haven't seen it. Good
I
time
would
for the
totally
whole
check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
You
awesome.
would love it, but you definitely.
I'm gonna watch it. I put it on the list.
It's official.
I have a running list. I'm the worst. So it's weird because I do watch a lot of movies and TV shows and everything else, but for some reason, whenever we start talking in conversation and people will mention stuff, I'm like, no, I haven't seen that. And I'm like, first of all, what the hell am I watching that nobody else? Like, just like, why am I missing all this stuff? Why is my list so long? I don't know. But
Well, you also notice that every single person is going to tell you that whatever movie they like is the one that you have to see.
listen, I'll watch them all.
And it's always
If
different because
somebody-
art is subjective.
and they can mislead you.
Yes.
They can. I mean, I like to tell people that Weekend at Bernie's is one of the greatest pieces of cinema ever if they've never seen it.
It's
I don't think I have seen it.
Physical acting at its greatest.
Right.
That was a physical role. Bernie had to be a limp corpse the whole fucking movie. That was an amazing demonstration of physical acting. The man had no line. He
For
was
sure.
focused the whole movie.
It's a unique
Yeah.
talent for sure.
Talent. I'd say
It
that
is.
was extremely talented. And it's
I don't know.
Glorious.
Can you do
I
that
always-
shit well?
I always run into the worry of ruining those types of movies for myself if I watch them today with my modern lens. You know what I mean? Like I watched Goonies
It
with my
holds up.
kids. Are you
Weekend at
sure?
Bernie's holds up. I watched
Oh,
it
that's
on
my soul.
Thanksgiving.
Wait, did it not go over well?
Oh, it was a
Oh.
disaster. My
The
kids.
Goonies?
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, you don't realize just how
Yeah.
inappropriate 80s movie. Dude, first of all, every John Hughes movie is canceled.
Yeah, they curse
it's just
constantly.
they're so problematic and rapey.
I know, but
Yes, the
I
girl,
know,
the girl,
but Ducky,
the
right?
girl in the car, and holding his hand on the car. All the tears,
no,
but
there's
still.
a lot of 16 Candles is very problematic in a lot of different ways.
I know, and I'm afraid of Weekend at
Blind
Bernie's.
rape of Michael C. Also, there's long
Okay,
Dutch
well,
song. I mean, there's a
we
lot
want
of
to talk
things,
about
but-
problematic. Yeah.
So it just
They're all
ruins
gonna
it
have
to
some
watch.
issues.
Like everything from the 80s, and you kind
But
of
I
just have to
love
leave
That's
it.
fair.
movies.
Me too. Me too. And I mean,
Big fan.
it's
I
crazy. Yeah.
can't, they still smoked in restaurants when I was a kid. We had the choice of like smoking or not smoking.
That's right. Me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Those
can't
were the
keep- I
days.
so I love John Hughes movies. I just can't help it. Like there's just,
I do
That's
too.
still separate, but
I
yes.
don't know.
You're allowed to love them. Don't feel
Yeah.
guilty.
Goonies,
It's fine.
Yeah, it's
I-
all
I
good.
love
And I love Quentin Tarantino too, and I'm not taking it back.
Oh,
it's
I
more
get
so sad
shit
to me that it
all the
doesn't
time
play
for my
over
love
in
of
the
Quentin.
present day.
I know, I did too. I got so much
I
flack
mean-
one time. I can't help
I
it.
don't
The man
care.
creates
I-
beautiful, wonderful universes.
It's true.
I love it, and I know.
Who are we
people-
talking about now? We're still talking
Tarantino.
about-
That's when I feel like I have to
Oh.
wash myself when we give money to him. I'm like, that was
I
good,
know.
but ugh.
That's it's supporting the new shit that makes me. Yeah,
I
I'm
was
with
gonna
you.
say
Yeah.
this is something
Fuck, I
I
shouldn't
do
have put my
a
money
strong
there,
opinion
but-
about.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to hear your strong
I
opinion.
know.
Yikes.
I know.
All right,
Right.
let's
Are
do
you,
it.
wait,
Lots of
first of
them, I
all,
know.
are you gonna stop talking to us? That we love.
No, what,
to-
me?
Yeah, don't like.
Maybe just me.
Why?
I don't know. I'm nervous about your opinion.
Am I
I'm here
canceled?
for
Wait,
it.
what happened? What's going on?
No, I want to hear your strong opinion.
Like I
No,
know
I-
Harvey Weinstein is bad.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's not
Yeah.
even up for debate. Yeah. No. I like old Tarantino.
Oh my god,
movies.
honey.
Is
Oh,
where that sentence ends.
Wait, take the ear.
I think
You're gonna
that's a
lose it.
fair. I think that's a fair sentence. I will say this. I prefer old classic Tarantino. That is my bread and butter stuff. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I've said this before. Like, I mean, I saw Reservoir Dogs in the theater when I was 16, and it opened my eyes. I'd never seen a film like that,
Oh yeah.
and I was like,
And I apologize about what's happening right now. I'm charging my phone.
"Oh yeah, please do." And I mean, it made me want to pursue filmmaking. It made me feel like it was a realistic option. So, yeah, I've got
Yeah, I
nothing but love.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Jen. I think I my statement is I love old Tarantino. Like that's all.
Yeah. There are some.
Yeah.
There are a couple filmmakers
Yeah.
that I think are really, really talented, but have gotten so big that no one's telling them no anymore. And I
Agreed.
think regardless of what your job is, there should always be someone who's willing to tell you no.
Right.
100% agree. Do
If
you feel
necessary.
like, because I feel similar sometimes to say like
Yep.
music, when you think
Yeah.
about these bands that like, oh
Yeah.
man, their early albums were so good, and then they got all big in this, and it lost a little
You
bit
can
of that
tell when-
magic.
Yeah. You can tell when they're like someone's making like a fan piece of art about their own work, and then it becomes this weird like echo of an echo.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
two mirrors held up to each other, feedback loop sort of thing.
I mean, it's like
Yeah.
it's George Lucas phenomenon, right?
Is that what the diagnostic? That's the medical
Right.
term.
That's the clinical term. Yes.
That's the clinical term. Thank you. You both took a drink at the same time.
Oh,
We've been hanging out too long.
Too much. Nora, are you in a dark room? Are you going to jump out and scare us? What's happening over there?
Are you good?
No,
This
no,
is the
I'm not in the dark room. I'm here. There I am.
Are you?
We are the ones
Oh!
in the dark room. Ah,
Because you know I scare easily, so
There I am.
just afraid she's
Hello.
gonna pop out and terrify us.
No, so there's also, there's also really bad service in Waco, Texas. So be aware if you move to Central Texas, terrible cell phone reception. But I'm plugged
Terrible
in.
techno-
And
everything.
can you hear me? Am I visible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're freezing in various positions, but nothing too humiliating. We're no.
Yeah.
It
All right.
happens. It happens. Oh my gosh, we've been doing this for an hour.
Yeah.
I lost
So-
track of time.
weren't there more? There were other. What? Sorry.
Yeah, there was that one good question. Well, let's end with that one. I think that one was so good.
What was that one question you had, Vanessa?
No, I had one good one. Let me find it.
We tolerated all these other questions. Get to that good one.
Was it the last one?
There were a couple good
Get to that good fucking question, Vanessa.
Okay, I'm trying.
Yeah, don't humor her, Jenna.
I have problems.
I can't keep up.
So this was with regards to we rebranded the fest. We officially switched from the Women in Horror Film Festival to the Renegade Film Festival.
That's right.
And that brings with it a sense of rebellion. And I feel like as artists, we're all rebelling against something in some way. So as artists, what do you feel like you're rebelling against, and where does horror fit into that?
That wasn't the question I was thinking of, but that is also a good question.
Well, I have them all, so I'll keep asking them.
Guys, there's pages of them.
I just it's a half a page. The font's not even that big.
I'm just kidding.
So wait, it was what are you fighting against, running from?
What are you rebelling against? Do you
Rebelling
feel like
against.
you're
Not running from, but what are you fighting against?
Yeah, what are you kind of
Fighting
fighting against, and where does horror fit into that for you?
Nora, you want to go first, or should I go first?
Sure, let's do this before I get all glitchy on this again. So for me personally, especially now that I've left LA, I feel like I'm fighting against, being in the mecca of, filmmaking, versus coming to a place where I need to really create the work and find the work for myself. It's not there every day, 9 to 5, like it was in LA. So for me, it's fighting against the conventions of, big cinema and big film productions being the only ones that are, valid, or that, affect change, or that are, that matter. I think indie filmmaking, especially in horror, out of any other genre, indie filmmaking has had such an impact in the horror genre in general, because so many iconic horror films have started at the roots as independent horror films. So for me, it's just continuing that legacy and continuing, to try to be involved in as many horror projects as I can be, in the hopes, for me personally, my career goals is to be involved in one of those things that catch fire, one of those next, Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th. I think for a lot of special effects artists, that's a goal. Create that iconic slasher, or be involved in that movie that just becomes a cult classic and iconic. So that's the mountain I die on. That's my Everest, and that's what I'll keep, striving for. Because for me, horror is, truly where my heart is, and that's home for me, and that means so much to me, that genre in general, because it's what sparked my love for this industry and for film. And it's really infectious, and it's taken over my whole life. So I'm just gonna keep going with trying to influence the horror genre and be a part of it, and be involved in projects that'll hopefully stand the test of time.
Yeah, I think that's great.
That was awesome.
Beautiful. Yeah.
What about you, Jenna?
I'm fighting against the knowledge that I am going to die, and that every day that goes by is a day I will never get back, and that I don't physically have enough time to do all the things I want to do on this mortal coil. And so one of the things that I love about movies is that we get to live and die a million different lives within one. It's almost like cheating the system. Especially horror.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, those are beautiful answers, guys. Wow.
Absolutely. And I relate to that a lot.
Yeah.
I love it.
Vanessa, what about you?
I wasn't going to answer.
You want to know? No, I think you have to. I mean, you're the founder of the festival. You have to have something you're rebelling against.
If the question came from your soul.
Right, yeah.
It did, but now I have to think of an answer in an eloquent
Renegade. I think I might get on that later.
Bullshit, you have an answer.
Don't yell. I mean, I think I think, I mean, I look at why this fest was created to begin with, and why I'm so passionate about it, and why I feel like, because I have, going back to the whole, is it harder to start or keep it going? I've fought a lot with whether or not I should keep this going, because it is a full-time thing. It is all consuming. And I'm trying to be a working, functioning filmmaker on top of it. And it brings with it a lot of challenges, but I also remember how important it is and what this does mean to a lot of people. I constantly think like, oh, I'm one person, it's a little event, what difference does it make? But then I start to see these filmmakers, who've never screened in a theater before, never had an audience, never been able to network and talk to other filmmakers at various levels, and to see that happen, and to, just to be a fly on the wall, and to feel that moment where it's like, that made a difference to them. And I took it for granted, thinking it didn't matter. And
Oh yeah.
I think for me, I have to remember it does matter, and I have to keep fighting and keeping this, because, art is important, and we need it, and we need to foster it, and we need to support each other, and we need to cut out all the bullshit. And it should be, it has all the potential to be a beautiful, colorful landscape filled with everyone of all kinds. And I just am going to keep doing that until I die.
That was a beautiful answer.
That was awesome.
Wonderful.
That's how I'm going to cry now. But
And Vanessa, I just want to say what you do in putting together a festival, the way you do, and giving, potentially first-time filmmakers that chance and that platform to have their stuff seen by judges, who have many different facets in the film industry, Heather Langenkamp, all these different amazing people that you had attached to the festival. I mean, it's really incredible for the people that get their first opportunity to have their work seen, and then be able to, be attached to your festival. I mean, it's the, for us, it might be just another thing we do, or a thing we judge, or an event we put on. But for those filmmakers, that might be their one chance to see something that they made on the big screen the first time, and the only time they get to see an audience react to their work. And that's like life moments. That's like major, happiest moment of my life kind of shit. So, I mean, it's really important, and it's really amazing that you put so much effort into this when you've got, a family and work and all this other shit going on. The fact that you put time into producing such an amazing event for filmmakers, and indie filmmakers at that, is really spectacular.
Well, thank you. However, I cannot take all the credit. I mean, I really am grateful and blessed to work with some amazing people. One of them to my left.
Oh, thank you.
And honestly, getting people involved, I mean, I think it's contagious when you're really passionate about something, and I think somebody feels that. And I've been really lucky to find amazing people who want to get involved, who also have a passion for this. And it makes it, I mean, I don't want to say easy, because it's not easy, but it almost feels effortless, because, I think
it's joyous.
Yes. That is a perfect word for it. It really is. I mean, in those moments where I'm like, oh, it's too much. But then we get there, and like, it's electric, and I've got goosebumps the whole time, and I'm redder than this, and terrified and excited all at the same time. And then you just see these moments, and everybody is smiling, and everybody is like, I mean, it really is. It's unlike any other event. It is a absolute level playing field, and it's beautiful to see that, even if it's for 3 days and then everyone goes back to their normal life. But it really is wonderful to see like all of these different people come together, all at different points.
No pants again.
Pantless.
Does he have pants on?
No. I mean,
it's not that kind of show, homie.
The vitals are covered, but no, there's no pants. Okay. Good night, buddy. No, can you come I will. Yeah. Very soon. We're really not wearing pants.
Man, am I glad I have 2 daughters and no sons.
I mean, what do you do? You shut the door, please. I'll be out in a second. I can't even. He's gonna crawl. I don't know. I don't know where do we go from here. There's the dog and.
Oh my gosh!
You are welcome.
That.
This is my life. Nobody wears pants in this house.
Oh my gosh. That was amazing.
Oh, well, I lost my train of thought. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Help. I don't know what we were saying.
Well, we definitely want to thank our guests. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
tonight.
doing this.
Of course.
Thank you for facilitating this beautiful meeting of the minds.
It's just amazing to just talk to like-minded, amazing people like yourselves.
Yes, absolutely. I echo
I wasn't talking about you. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, me, no, I don't count. These two down here are the good ones. No, I know you guys are busy. I appreciate that you guys took some time out of your schedule to hang out with us and get silly and talk about the stuff we love the most. I hope to see you both at the fest.
Yes.
Wink. I can't wink.
When is the fest this year?
It is March 3rd through good one, Jenna. It was March 3rd through the 5th, 2022.
Yes.
We're gonna be in the same venue we were for 2020. We're at the historic Strand in Marietta. It is gorgeous. What a fun place to watch your film.
Yeah, we've got some really cool stuff.
I would love to be there.
Yes, I cannot wait to make all the announcements that we're going to get to make later. Mm-hmm. We're riding on cloud 9. I don't know. Is that still a thing? That's what the old people say.
Yep. That's what they say.
That's what they say. All right, you guys. Well, thank you again so much. Happy Pride, happy filmmaking, and we'll have to do this again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.